If you've been outside at just the right time after a thunderstorm, you might have seen the sky turn a beautiful shade of orange or even green. In other cultures, this phenomenon is considered an omen of death or impending doom. But why does the sky turn these colors? Is there any truth to these legends? And could seeing an orange sky really be a sign that you're about to die? Let's look into it. The most important thing to understand when trying to figure out why the sky turns orange or green before a storm is how our atmosphere scatters light. Because light travels so fast, we usually don't think about it as having a color. But visible light actually has a whole range of wavelengths which make up all the colors we can see. When sunlight passes through our atmosphere, it collides with gas molecules and particles like water droplets and dust. These collisions cause the light to scatter in different directions. And since blue light has a shorter wavelength than red light, it gets scattered more easily. This is why the sky is blue during the day. Blue light bounces off gas molecules in our atmosphere and makes its way into our eyes from all different angles. On the other hand, longer wavelength light like orange and red isn't scattered as much. So if you want to see the reddish colors of sunset, you just need to look toward the sun. That's because during sunrise and sunset, the sunlight has to pass through more of our atmosphere than usual, and all that blue light gets scattered away, leaving us with the warmer colors. Now, if you're an avid sky watcher, you might have noticed that the sky doesn't always turn red during sunset and sunrise. Sometimes it looks purple or even green, and there are also times where the sky appears green during the day. So what's going on there? Well, the color of the sky during sunrise and sunset depends not only on the angle of the sunlight, but also on what's in our atmosphere. Like we said earlier, when sunlight hits a particle in our atmosphere, it gets scattered in all directions. If that particle is water vapor or a similarly sized molecule, the light will get scattered in pretty much all wavelengths. But some particles like smoke or dust are much bigger than water molecules, and when they collide with sunlight, they scatter larger wavelengths more easily. This is why smoke can turn the sky orange or even red, especially during sunrise and sunset. So let's say there was a massive storm brewing with lots of rain, hail, or even snow. What effect would that have on the sky? You know, massive storms produce huge cumulonimbus clouds which contain lots of water droplets and ice crystals of all different sizes. As the sun shines through these clouds, the water droplets scatter the light while the ice crystals scatter larger wavelengths of light more easily. Now, if the sun is low on the horizon, as it is during sunrise and sunset, the blue light from the water droplets will mostly just get scattered away, leaving the orange and red colors from the ice crystals. This is why you often see an orange or red sky during a sunset, and also why the sky can turn these colors during a storm. It's all about the particles in the air. Okay, now we know why the sky turns these colors during a storm. But why is it sometimes green instead of orange? Let's take a look at a hurricane to find out. The green sky associated with storms is typically seen with severe thunderstorms. And one of the most dangerous types of severe thunderstorms are supercells. These are large, long-lived thunderstorms that can spawn tornadoes, large hail, and even waterspouts. Supercells have a distinctive shape with a well-defined center and a broad, flat base. But why do they have a green sky? Well, back in 2017, researchers created a computer simulation to try and answer just that question. They wanted to find out if there was something unique about supercells that caused them to have a greenish hue, and their results showed that supercells produce a very specific range of hydrometeors. These are the ice crystals and water droplets of different sizes that form inside clouds, and when those hydrometeors interact with sunlight, they create a bright flash of green light. However, this only happens at a very specific angle, and it only reaches our eyes if we're standing under the cloud. Since this flash is so short-lived and only occurs at a certain angle, it's extremely unlikely that you'll ever see it for yourself. But scientists have collected data that shows this flash of green light is definitely happening, and they've even detected it using satellites. So we know why the sky turns orange or green during a storm, but is there any truth to the idea that an orange sky means you're about to die? There are similar myths in many different cultures around the world. In China, Japan, and Korea, an orange sky means death is coming soon, either to someone specific or to someone in the family of someone who sees the sky. In Mexico, an orange sky means death is close by, and in some countries like Poland and Turkey, a green sky means the same thing. But are any of these legends based in reality? Well, some people believe they are, but they're usually referring to the green sky. You see, when a tornado is approaching, there's a wall of rotating winds called a wall cloud that extends downward from the main storm cloud. And as the tornado approaches, that wall cloud moves closer to the ground. As the wall cloud moves lower, it casts a shadow on the ground below, and that shadow can sometimes appear green. This is most likely due to an abundance of chlorophyll in plants on the ground, which absorb red light more easily than green light. Some people believe that seeing this green wall cloud means that they'll be dead within 3 days, but there's no reason to think that this is true. While seeing a tornado is certainly something to worry about, there's no connection between seeing a green wall cloud and dying. In fact, there are reports of people surviving tornadoes that looked like they were about to kill them. As for the orange sky legends, there's just no evidence to support them. Of course, there is a small chance that a storm that produces an orange sky could also produce a tornado or some other disaster, but that's just a coincidence. Seeing an orange sky doesn't mean that your number is up, but if you do see an orange sky, you should still be prepared for whatever Mother Nature throws your way. Storms that produce orange skies can sometimes bring damaging winds, heavy rain, or even hail.